This tutorial will show you how to get started working in the CM directory, or the cloudmesh directory. We assume that you have Git Bash already installed. To check if you have Git Bash installed, you can search for Git Bash in the Windows Start, and it should appear here. So you start it, and we're going to navigate to the CM directory if you have it. If you don't have it, then you can type mkdir space CM, and then you can cd to CM. If you have not already, we can use the pip install cloudmesh-installer, but first let's update our pip by doing pip space install space pip space -U. And you should see an OS error because that's normal. That's typical for Windows. We can proceed by typing pip space install space cloudmesh-installer, enter. And now, whether you are a contributor to CloudMesh or just a user that would like to enjoy CloudMesh's features, you can download the Pi suite of CloudMesh repositories by typing cloudmesh-installer space get space pi, and this is a tool which clones the needed repositories into the CM directory. Now, we assume that you have just downloaded PyCharm Professional, and if you have not downloaded PyCharm Professional, then I have a tutorial for that in the same YouTube channel. It is also on Cyber Training. You can open up PyCharm, and perhaps if you have opened PyCharm before, it may open a pre-existing project. So we can close the tip of the day, and if this is the first time you have opened PyCharm, it may look like this. A similar interface such as this. The first thing you need to do is look for the Open button. So click on Open, and then navigate to the users directory in your C drive, and look for your username, and then click on CM, and then click OK. And yes, you can click Trust Project. This is safe. Now that we have opened our CloudMesh folders, PyCharm may automatically classify these folders as the source directories, which is the best thing to do for convenience. But if the folders are not blue, then you can click on the first folder, and then hold Shift on your keyboard and click the last one so that they are all selected, and then right click, and then click Mark Directory as Sources Root. This will turn the folders blue, and this is the most convenient when developing with CloudMesh. Furthermore, if you are just beginning to configure PyCharm, then when you click on the terminal, it may open a PowerShell. This is not so convenient. What we can actually do is go to File, and then Settings, and in order to change the default terminal, we can type terminal in the search bar, and then in the shell path we can change it to C program files git bin bash.exe and click OK. And now we can click X next to local, and then click on terminal again, and then there is our Git Bash as the default terminal in PyCharm. You should have already configured your Git Bash to run in a virtual environment, so as to protect the system-wide Python installation. Furthermore, we can configure PyCharm per project basis to run the virtual environment. In order to do this, we can click on File, Settings, and then in Project Settings, CM, we can click on Python Interpreter. And now, instead of the system-wide Python, we can click on the drop-down arrow and click env3. However, this may not appear in your list, in which case you should click on the settings and then click add, click existing environment, and make sure that you check make available to all projects so that it's easier for you. And then if it's not in this list, you click on the 3 dots and then you locate your virtual environment. If you don't have a virtual environment, we have a tutorial on how to make one. Also, we assume that your env3 is in your user folder. In that folder we have scripts, and in that folder we have python.exe, and then click on that and click OK, and then you click OK, and then you click OK again. And if you didn't have to use the settings, then you can just use the env3 that's already there. I made a duplicate, that's probably not a good idea, but you should click on env3 and click OK. And then this should work and set your PyCharm to use a virtual environment. For example, you can do add configuration, add new, go to Python, and then it uses your env3, it's already set. So you can click OK. And just to make sure that we can successfully run Python programs, we can make a new Python file, and we can just name it test.py. And we'll say name equals jp and print name. So let's see if it works. In order to run this file, we can press Ctrl-Shift-F10, which is a keyboard shortcut to run the Python file that you're currently editing. We can also try to see where Python is located. So we can say os.system after importing os, and we can say where Python, and Ctrl-Shift-F10, and we see that Python is located in env3. And then it digs to see where that comes from, and it comes from here and there. But as long as you see env3, you know that you are good to go. Congratulations, you have just configured PyCharm.